And then just to kind of support Michelle's comments about the flex work arrangements, so a lot of people are concerned about whether flex workers actually are more productive or as productive as regular people, regular employees. Flex work hours, supervisors say that individuals who are working flex work hours are as productive. 100% of the supervisors surveyed said they're as productive as folks who are working non-flex hours. So that's interesting. And this study was done by a high-tech based firm. So 90% of high-tech based firms offer some kind of flex work hours. Now that doesn't mean that every individual in the organization is going to have that flexibility, but 90% have some kind of flex work hours. And telecommuting, yeah, go ahead.
How do you define that you can work on you work off hours from the traditional 9 to 5?
Right. So some organizations have like core hours between, like, you have to be there between 10 and 2, but you can work any other hours. Some of them, it's completely, just get your work done. We don't care when you show up. We see that a lot at Amazon, actually.
So it's in the office for some period, but,
correct.
But flexibility as to when you come and go.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. And then telecommuting, we all know what that is, where we're calling in or we're working one or more days a week telecommuting. And this is really interesting because, again, 88% of those high-tech biotech firms that were interviewed offer telecommuting, and people said, well, yeah, sure, you can do that if you're a big company like Amazon or Microsoft, but actually there were higher concentrations of telecommuters at companies under 100 employees than there was at some of the bigger companies. So I think that's really interesting. And again, the supervisors are saying, yeah, people are doing their work in spite of the telecommuting. They're not actually doing their laundry and baking cakes. They're actually doing their work. So, so this is interesting, and we're seeing more and more interest. This is one of the things, as a small business owner, you have the ability to hugely affect your attractability, how attractive you are to potential employees, because this is something that so many people need. Their kids have school and all these things going 75 different ways. They've got elderly parents who have issues. They've got their own, there's so many pressures on people. Flexibility is becoming a really big issue, especially interestingly enough with female employees. So female employees are much more likely to stay with organizations. Professional females are much more likely to stay with organizations that have some kind of these flexible benefits. Yes?
On the telecommuting, was the companies that were part of this survey, did they have people that telecommuted 100% of the time, or was it?
It was a mix.
A mix, okay. And what, did they talk anything about the resources that were available that allowed them to do that, and what made them successful?
Absolutely. So most of them have some kind of, face-to-face team meetings periodically. Some of them are, every month. Some of them, for international-based companies, it might be once a year or twice a year. And some where they're more local have more frequent face-to-face. But a lot of them are using technology exclusively, right, with some kind of Skype-type face recognition, where you can actually see everybody there. So a big mix. But technology is getting easier and easier and easier. In fact, an economist that I had out last year to come speak to some of our clients, and he said he gets angry every time he sees traffic during crunch time, during rush hour, because he goes, it's completely unnecessary. He got all upset about it. He doesn't understand why we haven't embraced this yet.